Good morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 93. Please subscribe. This is our third light lesson. As I mentioned yesterday, we came out of review with the lesson that miracles are seen in light. And yesterday, miracles are seen in light. Light and strength are one. And today, light and joy and peace abide in me. They live, they dwell within my being. This lesson is a beautiful one one of the ones I will suggest that you read if you will. Take 5 minutes today. It's not real long. And this is a lesson that if you've been through the workbook before, you may, after you start to read it, go, oh, that's the snake lesson, because the snake is prominent in the first paragraph. You think you are the home of evil, darkness, and sin. You think if anyone could see the truth about you, he would be repelled, recoiling from you as if from a poisonous snake. You think that if what is true about you, if I understood what was true about me, it was revealed to me, I would be struck with horror and I would run and I would take my own life, because living after that revelation would be totally impossible. These are beliefs so firmly fixed that it is difficult to help you see that they are based on nothing, because these are thoughts that are coming from the ego, so they are based on nothing. That you have made mistakes, oh yeah, we have, that's obvious. That you have sought salvation, our freedom, our happiness in strange ways, have been deceived, deceiving, and afraid of foolish fantasies and savage dreams, and have bowed down to idols made of dust. All this is true by what you now believe. But today we're going to question this belief, because these thoughts, those opinions of ourself are not according to God's will. So these weird beliefs he does not share with you. And this is enough to prove that they are wrong. God only deals in what is true. If God does not uphold and believe in these fantastic beliefs that I have about me, that I am sinful and guilty and need to be punished for all of my terrible bad acts, then they're not real. Because if God doesn't share that opinion of me, then it is not real. And now the lesson says, why would you not be overjoyed to be assured that all the evil that you think you did was never done? That we have no sins, and our sins are nothing, and that we are as pure and holy as we were created, which is actually a spoiler alert for tomorrow, and that light and joy and peace abide in you. Would we not be happy to find that out? And there's that repetition. The image of yourself cannot withstand the will of God. What we think of as ourself will not be upheld by the will of God, and so it is not true. Remember, ultimately, this is a course in what is true and what is false, and if it is not, what the thought is not in alignment with God's mind, well, it's false, and it never was, and it never can be. It's unreal and nothing more than that. And these thoughts that I've had about myself that are low and debased does not change creation, nor reduce eternal sinlessness to sin and love to hate. These thoughts have no power. They are not real. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. That's the beginning of paragraph 6. Over and over, this must be repeated until it is accepted. Again, it is that repetition that forms those new pathways, geese, in our minds. Say it over and over again until that thought becomes a belief. It's true. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Nothing can touch it or change what God created as eternal. Again, spoiler alert, the self you made, little self, the self you made, evil and full of sin, is meaningless. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God, and light and joy and peace abide in you. Those two phrases are our phrases to use for our practicing today. The 7th paragraph is so beautiful. It says, salvation requires the acceptance of but one thought. You are as God created you, not what you made of yourself. Now here, I always go to one of my favorite artists, Mary Chapin Carpenter. She's much more of a troubadour and a storyteller than a singer, although she's a wonderful singer. And she has one of her songs that says, we have two lives. One we're given and the other one we make. We have two selves here. The one we were given, our true self, our big S self. And then we have that little self, and that's the one we made, but it is not real. Whatever mistakes you made, the truth about you is unchanged. Creation is eternal and unalterable. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. You are and will forever be exactly as you were created. Light and joy and peace abide in you because God put them there. The practicing, it says it would be very beneficial if we could spend the first 5 minutes of every waking hour to spend some time with this lesson, repeating light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Again, it says you are what God created or what we made, so we get to choose. Which is it? Am I what God created, or am I really what I made, my ego self made? One self is true, the other is not there. And try to experience the unity of your one self with that big S. Try to appreciate its holiness and the love from which it was created. Try not to interfere. Stand back. Don't interfere with the self that God created as you by hiding its majesty behind the tiny idols of evil and sinfulness you have made to replace it. The choice, you are what God created or you are what you made. Pick one. And I think the choice is easy, truthfully. And it says you may not be willing or even able to use the first 5 minutes of each hour for these exercises, but try, however, to do so when you can. Obviously, the first 5 minutes of every hour might be difficult, but when we can, to say, light and joy and peace abide in me, my sinlessness is guaranteed by God. And, of course, if anything seems to be disturbing our peace, something outside of ourselves, which really that's another belief we'll have to undo. But if I am tempted to become angry, tempted to become upset, then I tell myself, and especially if it's with another member of the sonship, I say silently, light and joy and peace abide in you, and your sinlessness is guaranteed by God, just like mine is. And you can do much today. This lesson concludes with, you can do much today for the world's salvation. You can do much today to bring you closer to the part in salvation that God has assigned to you. My salvation comes from me. And you can do much today to bring the conviction to your mind that the idea for today is true indeed. That indeed light and joy and peace abide in me, in you. That's it for today. I hope it helped. This is a lovely lesson, a joyful lesson, a peaceful lesson. Please read it if you can at some point today. Please smile. What a lovely lesson. Please breathe in, release everything that is of the small self, and pray for the recognition to come so very quickly. And did I say subscribe and comment? Well, if I didn't, like, share, subscribe. Namaste.